So today our agenda is to, and just what I can do, I'll just share my screen. Okay, quickly, due to some climate issues also, it was late here, but maybe going further, we will try to overcome. I'll overcome on this situation and we'll try to start on the time. So here, today we have some agenda to our session to start up. So mostly today we will come to know. So in the first session, I have discussed with the concept of BI environment. In the next session, we discussed purely ETL flows. Right? Today, we will talk purely about the data factory, Azure Data Factory. So we are good to go, and the whole concept. So I'll just take an example, okay, to make you to understand how Azure Data Factory works. And in the meantime, I'll try to log into my account as well, the configuration. So the credentials, the Azure account creation and startup and sign in, sign on. Please be ready by Monday with your availability on the debit card or credit card. It can be Visa card. So that will help you to create a correct account. And if you people can follow me on that particular day, and if you are able to sign in into the Azure accounts, that should be more better, because definitely we have some challenges when we are doing on our own. Okay, and it's all about the giving the credit card information. So you have to be more secure, but really it's not a problem again. Microsoft will not debit any account from your credit card or debit card without any intimations. Okay, definitely it will go ahead and give some intimation and give some time, and properly it will happen. So definitely, if you have any concerns, you can call to the customer care and you can get the details why they are charging and all. So there is no need to worry about your amount and all, right? So that is the one we can assume. Okay. So we can get some guarantee on that Microsoft. So coming to the Azure Data Factory. So these are all the resources. So Azure Data Factory, ADF is the normal naming that we in a shortcut, but Azure Data Factory is the complete word. So Data Factory means in a factory, what will happen? We will have multiple things, right? So that's where data means that factory related concepts, whatever we have, we will work on data. That's why data factory we are saying. In factory, we will have multiple components, right? Machines will be there, and each machine will help for doing some processing, some material consumption, or like to make material pieces, to make the perfect material. There will be a lot of missions, 4 to 5 missions. That is like a factory. If you go for any cool drink manufacturing company, or like any textile manufacturing company, or if you go any for paper industry, so there will be a lot of missions. So each mission will be useful for one purpose, right? The same way here also, the ADF Azure Data Factory is also having a multiple what do we say, like activities and multiple transformations. So that is why we call it as a factory, to do each concept, right? And but in a normal real industry factories, they will do on the material. Maybe it can be a clothing, it may be a like cool drinks or something. But here we are working on data. These all activities, transformations will work on data, files, tables, columns, rows, these all things, right? So that's why we call all together as data. That's why data factory we are saying. And this data factory is a resource of which cloud service? Azure. That's why it is named as Azure Data Factory. So first of all, if you get the naming standards, why they are keeping like that, or like why we have, in which way we have to understand, if you know, definitely it make us life easy in the coming sessions, right? So today what I will do, I'll take one example, but really if you try to understand this example, and here somewhere you people have to talk to me. I mean, you have to answer me. Like you have to relate my example with the Azure Data Factory. This is what or my demo. So whatever so far 2 to 3 sessions, this is third session, right? From the past 2 sessions, what you have learned and what you are, how much concentrate you are doing, and is it really enough that activeness what you are showing, and the way which I am teaching? Definitely, these all are it's going to work out in the next future or not, we can come to know by this session, definitely. But you people, if you have answers no from online, just ping me in the chat window. Okay, so my example says you, I'll give you clear my example. So my example is like there are few people, I mean, or else I want to travel. The example all about is to travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore. And one more thing, I just give you heads up. Maybe my example really, is it making sense or not? I will not sure, but definitely it make you very clarity on the concept. That's what my intention. Maybe I'm taking a small scale of example or like related to our regular life. Maybe it can be a basic example, but still this will be the huge, it will useful to understand the flow of the ETL. Okay, so what is my source now? According to my example, travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore. What is my source? My source can be Hyderabad. And what is my target destination? Bangalore. So Bangalore. So now the same example, I want to do data transfer from where to where? Can you convey this example to our demo session to till today? Demo session to till today, how this example can be related to our topic. That means for our demo, for our ETL flow, where we are doing the travel. What travel I'm doing? Data travel here. We are doing the data travel. Data travel from where to where we do using ETL. No, you can say. You can say no problem. Okay. So data travel from where to where? No. OLTP to OLAP. Yeah. That is Shetty. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing wrong. Shetty I'll call. It is easy. So Shetty is the one who given the exact flow. So yeah, that is correct. OLTP to OLAP. That is the example we can relate to OLTP to OLAP. Just 1 second. Anyone, all of you are able to see my paint? I'm doing in paint. Are you able to see my paint version or like?
Yes, we can.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Just I'll share 1 second. I'll just stop my screen once and I'm again sharing. Okay. Just I have some small concern related to. Mhm. Okay. So now our examples. Somewhat for today. So here we got so OLTP to OLAP. So now I'll just make it as OLTP to OLAP. Now tell me, how can I do my travel? How many ways I can do my travel from OLTP to OLAP, or how many ways I can do my travel from Hyderabad to Bangalore? I can use busway, I can use airway, I can use trainways, railways, like that multiple ways. So the same way, how can I travel? How can I make my data travel from OLTP to OLAP? How can I make it? Means we can make it using maybe it can be in a Azure Data Factory, maybe it can be an SSIS, maybe it can be in a Power Query, maybe it can be in a other ETL tools. Got it, right? So for example, maybe if I want to do on busways, travel agencies. Again, there are Orange Travels, Rajesh Travels. Again, there are like some many travels are there, right? So like that, we have to go for maybe like we are coming on cloud services, for suppose. And cloud services tools, there are a lot of ETL tools, right? So now on travel to your source to destination, what all you observe here, you might see here like maybe you are going by a car, you are using a car and you are doing your journey. So you might see like restaurants or not on your travel. You might see restaurants. Again, on your travel, you might see what? Hospitals, right? Correct or not? But when you found these hospitals and when you found petrol bunks, when you found toll gate charges, or else, okay, if you found like hospitals, do you want to enter into that hospital? Do you found any restaurant? Will you go for that restaurant? Until unless you have a purpose. Definitely, correct or not? You might go for a hospital, yeah. But when it is required, it's not like I see in front, I see restaurant, so I have to go and sit in restaurant. I have see petrol bunk, I have to go and make me petrol bunk, petrol, I have to fill the tank. No, it's requirement based. If you have not having sufficient petrol in your car, then you will go and fill it with the petrol. If you have some health issue where urgent emergency, then you'll go for hospital. If you feel hungry, then you'll go for restaurants. But you, whether you take them or not, definitely they will be on the sideway of your travel. You might see them, correct or not? The same way here also, we can see lot of data transformations. Those are also called as ETL transformations. So like data scrubbing means data scrubbing means it is one of the transformation. Means we are going to add some columns to the existing table. From the source, you have only 4 columns. But in the target, I have to do some evolution, condition evolution, and I have to load it into the target with 6 columns. The 2 columns which we are newly adding in the ETL flow, that process when you are implementing, that is called data scrubbing. Next, we are going to do data merging also. Data merging also. So data merging means again, maybe it is one of the most important transformation that we regularly follow, because our staging layer has to come into one particular source. Yesterday we have discussed about the ETL flow, right? In the ETL flow, all the various data sources will be integrated into one single source, like a staging area, that is temporary area. So integration, that is called integration, that is called merging. Merging means what? Integration only. The alternative, the alias name for the integration is merging. So we have to perform data merging between the tables or between the various data sources. Within the data, same data source, multiple tables may be, right? Within the table, we can do data merging. When you perform that kind of transformation, that is called merging. Next, maybe data cleaning, data cleansing, we can call like data cleansing, we can say. Data cleaning also we can say. That means, for example, I have a customer name or employee name, for suppose. I have the customer name, customer name coming as a first name in separate column. I'm getting a last name in a separate column, middle name in a separate column. How many columns? Totally 3 columns. In the source, the source is what? OLTP. OLTP should maintain very clear information. So maybe it required of having the customer name with first name, last name, middle name individually. But as a OLAP database, maybe if the business is not dependent on that customer name or employee names, definitely doesn't require those 3 columns to maintain. Then what we can do? We can make these 3 columns into a single column. That is called data cleansing. See, I'm just giving you one example of the transformation, but definitely we have difference. Okay, we can do that. The data cleansing is nothing but cleaning your data. So it will help you to reduce the number of columns. Data scrubbing means what? It will help you in the number of increasing the number of columns. So data cleansing is improving to reduce the columns. So next, finally, we have to perform data aggregations as well. We have to perform the data aggregations. Means what? Calculations. Mainly the business is dependent on the aggregations only or not. We have to perform calculations. So like this, we have few ETL transformations. When you implement these all, really, I don't have any column coming as, like as I said, customer name is coming in a single column only first name and last name. Do I require to perform data cleansing now? No. If really the source is having 3 columns like first name, last name and all, then I have to do, else I don't need to do. Correct or not? So these all 4 transformations are to perform, we can do it in ETL, but they are not really mandatory based on the requirement. Your source data. See, why? If really the project is maintained with all of the people at once, at one place, means from one company, definitely this will not be there. The source, OLTP server maintenance will be given to TCS, for suppose. The TCS team will maintain the OLTP servers. Then Capgemini will come and work on ETL flow. Capgemini people will come and work on ETL flow. And OLAP database will be maintained by Wipro, for suppose. And the reporting will be taken by some other Virtusa company maybe. So the data parts will be shared, because OLTP, to maintain their convenient, the TCS people might do anything. Correct or not? To maintain the OLTP from the client, they have to get a good name. The performance faster is very important. So they will do a lot of things. Maybe they will add the columns, they will remove the columns, but they'll make sense for everything. For them, they will do, right? But what we cannot expect is the OLTP is as expected for the data warehouse. We cannot expect that, because OLTP, the TCS people will not have in mind this data will move to OLAP. TCS is given by the client, only you maintain the OLTP system, that's it. And once the data is landed into OLTP from the business, that will be shared to the Capgemini people to flow the ETL flow. So that's where In the middle of loading the data from OLTP to OLAP, we are going to maintain these 4 transformations on requirement basis. What is meant by OLTP? I said OLTP means online transaction processing system, which is also called as RDBMS. RDBMS is learning terminology. When you are learning, you can call it as RDBMS, no problem. But once you go into the work environment and work industry, definitely we have to convey into the real worlds like OLTP. They are applications. And the data warehouse is the learning word again. And OLAP is the real-time word. Now, OLAP means what? Online analytical processing system. So which is help to analysis, to perform analysis. To perform analysis, what we required? To perform analysis, what we required? We required history data. We required history data. So who is going to maintain the history? What are the types of history we have to maintain? Type 2, type 1, type 3. Correct or not? So next, we got like data marts will maintain. Okay, that is again a data warehousing concepts that we will talk later. So for now I have defined what all we are going to do using ETL. To do these 4 transformations only, we have data flows, the data transformations, data activities, those all things in the Azure Data Factory. Simple way. Got it, right? Is it clear now? Now, from Hyderabad to Bangalore, if a bus want to start, I mean, maybe we are taking car for suppose. As I said, we are doing travel using car. And to load the data from OLAP to OLTP, what we are using? Which ETL we are using? Which ETL? Azure Data Factory. Azure Data Factory. Correct or not? So now, first of all, I have decided to go to do travel or a move from Hyderabad to Bangalore using a car. So I have to decide from OLTP to OLAP which ETL I have to use. Then what I did, I came to decision like I used car here. I'll use here Azure Data Factory. For today. Tomorrow it can be in a Databricks again. Azure Data Factory. Right? So now, what is the maybe car or bus you take? If you take a bus, for example, when you can enter into the bus? When you can enter into a bus? When you will be allowed to enter into a bus? Ticket. When you purchase a ticket, you will be allowed to go for that particular service bus number. And on the ticket, what information you will have? What is your source? Where you are booking your ticket and where you have to go? Destination, the source and target. The same way, to flow the data in the Azure Data Factory, what should we have means? We should have a pipeline. We should have pipeline. So, for example, I'm just creating a pipeline. How to create a pipeline? I haven't spoke to you. I haven't gone through the whole flow, means the user interface. Maybe you are not really convenient for this particular time. Let it be, no problem. But from Mondays onwards, step by step we'll go. So then you'll come to know. You don't need to worry for these days. Okay. So definitely we'll have a perfect picture, no problem. But today you have to get a clarity that, okay, using Azure Data Factory, we can do these all. That's it. That is enough for me. These all flows we can do. These all the transformations will help. These all the activities will help to do these. How the pipeline is running. What is information required to run the pipelines? These all things we have to keep on. That's it. That is the only agenda for us for today. But from Monday, we'll have very clear. First, we'll configure the Azure platform and the source information and the databases, non-databases sources. How can we maintain? Those things we'll configure. And from other day, we'll start working on Azure Data Factory, right? So for now, how to create a pipeline? If you just go to the factory and if you say here the pipelines, you can see a new pipeline. Means I'm making my car ready for suppose, as my example tells, car or bus. Now, what I said, when you want to enter into a bus, you have to get a ticket. Ticket means what? Getting your source information, getting your target information. So here also, when I want to place some copy activity for suppose, and I'll give this pipeline the name later. So copy activity. In the copy activity also, it is asking me source information. It is asking me syncing information. Syncing means what? Target only again. So your source ticket information is Hyderabad. Your target is Bangalore. So here, what is your source? What's your target? Can anyone answer what can be our source and what can be our target? Target can be staging layer. Target can be ODS. Target can be data marts as well. But for now, we will fix to staging only because we are in first layer, right? So staging. So now, what is my source then? OLTP. Definitely, it is OLTP. So now, if you click on source, how do I provide my source information? Means here we require one thing: linked service. Linked service. We have to get. See, these all the prerequisites to work with Azure Data Factory. I'm not talking very simple concept. It is very important concept throughout our career, throughout our training. These all things are going to come up. So, but what purpose, what we use, we have to understand. That's what my main intention. I'm making you ready to get the things, how to flow on the overview. So tomorrow, if you attend an interview, I can tell you or tell me about yourself freely with your roles and responsibilities with these 3 classes. Maybe you are not good at technical. Maybe you did not practice. I'm not saying complete interview you can clear, but I can tell you or tell me about yourself. You can form a perfect picture. So that's what make an important to this. Okay. So now what happened here? The linked service I got. See, one, it is by default I'm having. You can create one more for source. So what kind of source you have? Where your platform means, for example, to relate to my example again, when you are booking a ticket, what kind of ticket you will book? Maybe sleeper, maybe like a seat. Maybe the seat can be on the window side, maybe in the middle, maybe in the first, maybe in the last. Like that, how many different options you have? The source also can land in non-DB sources, DB sources, and again structured data, non-structured data, semi-structured data. So you have to tell this linked service whether your data is storing in which place, in AWS cloud or in Azure cloud only, or on premises also. So for example, Azure block storage is our regular concept for suppose. I'm just selecting this, means this is the one. So you can just hit on this and you have to provide the Azure subscription. If it is, when you select the Azure block service, means it is an Azure cloud service only. So you have to provide the subscription details here. Got it, right? So you have to configure these things. So Azure block, if it is a database, you can configure with database. So like this, we can work. I'm just showing you. So you have to create a linked service for the source, for the target. So I feel and I hope that making sense with my class. If not, let me know. I hope if anything else. If nothing, fine. If you are able to follow, I'm really happy. So if not, let me know. You can stop me because at the end of the day, if you get an issue, that would be a more problem. But now if you say, I can resolve my solution, example, anything. I hope you feel from online, everyone is fine. If not, let me know. Yeah. So I'll just see your chat. I'm just watching on chat. I'm keeping one eye on the chat. If anyone have anything, if you unmute, that means if you get disturbance, if you feel, you can just ping me. Okay. I'll take care of those chat options as well. Fine, man. So now I have started what linked service means source and target. I got the ticket ready. I got ticket ready. So now I have to go and when I'm talking here, whatever the source I have mentioned, so the copy data activity, I'll just click on the properties to make a site. Now coming to the source, I have seen the source data set. Now data set we have to provide. The linked service is to what? The linked service to get the source information. Okay, I'm starting from here. That is your source information. Okay, and the target is destination. Syncing. Syncing means destination, right? So now data set means what again? For example, you have some luggage. You have some luggage. The luggage weightage based on the luggage weightage. Maybe that can be calculated based per kg or based on the number of quantities. They have to give again a receipt that this ticket, so and so ticket number, so and so person will have this luggage. They have to give some receipt with your ticket along there. You have to tell them, because bus has to keep some space for you, right? So definitely you have to tell that to people, so they will give you some luggage. So that is nothing but related to data set. What I mean to say, I'm having the file, I'm going to from here to here, but with me there is a lot of luggage. The source you are defining, but the source data is having this so and so structure. We are going to give the structure of the file or table or any source. The structure is important. So that we can define using data sets. So your linked service, your source information, your data set is what kind of source and what kind of structure you have for that source. Nowhere I am talking about data. You have to make sure my terminology. I'm not talking about data. Data, I don't talk. Okay. How many number of passengers are there? Why should I require? Correct or not? I should take off my luggage or like my purse. I am going, my fuel means I'm using a data flow to flow the data, but I'm not taking care of the data only. I'm taking care of the structure of the table, structure of the source, and I'm taking care of the source information. These all things I have done, right? So for example, the source is having 4 columns. Now the target I have to get 6 columns. Now, should I have data set only 1 or 2? 2 data sets is required, 1 data set is required. If you are understanding correctly, or if you are following with me. When you say that I have some luggage here, but in middle I'll have some other luggage. In some in between break, there is a break journey. I have some other luggage I have to keep on. So that means we have to get additional receipt. 2 receipts I have to get. 1 receipt from starting, the other receipt from Kurnool or some other place, because as I said, Hyderabad to Bangalore, in between Kurnool will come and some Rayalaseema places will come, right? So the ticket rate also can get differ, right? That's why we have to get 2 receipts. That means what? 2 data sets we have to create. You have a ticket, a bus ticket, a source and the target information, you have a bus ticket. But the other 2 receipts for your luggage. Correct or not? In the starting, you have 10 kg luggage, but when ending, you will get other 10 luggage. That means what? 2 receipts you will get. Means 2 data sets required. One is for source, one is for the target. Means when your structure is changing. But I have 10 kg in Hyderabad, in Bangalore also, I'll have the same 10 kg only. Then 1 receipt is enough, right? 1 data set is enough. But the target ticket means you have the source information, target information. The linked service, we should have 2. Source information linked service, target information linked service. Getting right? Now, so now I have defined all the, I'm ready with all the flow. Correct or not? So now my bus has to start, or my car has to start. Correct or not? So now, what is the example for car? According to my example, what is the car stands here in Azure Data Factory? It's a pipeline, correct? In the pipeline, if it is a bus, the ticket is what? Linked service. Bus ticket is nothing but linked service in Azure Data Factory. And data sets means nothing but luggage. Maybe the structure of the table in the source, as in a terminology, technical terminology. Now, I want to start my flow. I want to start my flow. Means who has to come? Driver has to come, right? So here, to run these pipelines, the integration runtimes, IR, the main concept is nothing but integration runtimes, IRs. There are 3 different types of IRs we have. For example, if you want to create a new one, see Azure self-hosted, Azure SSIS. Why we have here, if you see, one is showing as server, one is showing as server, one is serving as cloud service. Correct or not? So that means what? If you use Azure self-hosted, what will happen? You can pull the data on the on-premises one and the cloud services one also. What are the benefits? What are the drawbacks? These all things we will talk later. I'll talk about IR separately again. Just to run the pipeline, we require IR. That's it. Bus is ready. Now driver is coming. IR. So that there is other one. I said 3, right? So these are 2. Azure SSIS packages you can trigger from Azure Data Factory. That's where the main concept of Azure Data Factory is mostly required today, the people who knows how to configure the SSIS using a data factory. So SSIS are old packages. Now, if I want to convert those SSIS packages into Azure Data Factory, it's a long run. But for now, there is a, for example, 1,000 packages which I have. I cannot convey them all together at one time. I have a lot of challenges to migrate, right? So what I want to do, I want to target first 100 to move. In between, the 900 has to run from Azure only. Then I'll use this Azure SSIS and I'll trigger SSIS packages from Azure Data Factory only. So that's where the convenient from Azure Data Factory. You can use this integration runtime. What is this? It is a runtime. You are going to run the pipelines using this IR. So this IR, when you use, if you are using Azure self-hosted, you can take the data, source data from on premises, and you can pull the data and load it into the cloud services. Got it, right? And you have one more. What is that? You have one more here. Azure auto resolve self-hosted means auto resolve integration service. What is this? This is purely cloud to cloud only. We have benefits, lot of benefits with cloud to cloud. So I got some message. Yeah, man. Virakant, Vikrant, I have shared, man. I'm able to show Azure Data Factory. And Ramakant, you said hi. If you have any question, you can ping me, Ramakant. Vikrant, I can see message, but I'm sharing my Azure Data Factory page. You are on the same, I guess. If anyone having issue in that, let me know. The other remaining people. Notepad. No, man. I'm showing. I have some problems, sir. Madhura, sir. You are there, like, because I'm sharing Azure Data Factory, but I don't know why the screen is not sharing properly, I guess.
Yeah, boss, it is visible to me.
Azure Data Factory only now.
Yeah, completely it is visible to me.
Okay. Then some people, Jay Simha is saying he is able to see the paint screen. Rajshekar Reddy is saying he's seeing Notepad. And yeah, paint. Most of them are seeing paint on Notepad, but really I'm sharing this Azure Data Factory account in Azure. Okay. Maybe if you understand the concept, maybe the screen wise, let it be. Paint screen. Many of them are seeing paint only, sir. And even I'm seeing paint only.
Only paint we are seeing, not Azure Data Factory right now.
Okay, I'll just stop the screen share. Again, I'm just sharing. I don't think because something problem from my end or like, so now I just stopped and shared the Azure Data Factory. I'm just placed.
It is showing now, right now, Azure Data Factory screen.
Okay. So here where I'm talking, Azure self-hosted, Azure SSIS we can use. And maybe, yeah, people like, if you are not able to see the screen, I mean, if there is a problem, for now, no problem. Because yeah, today's session, no, whatever I'm talking, if you understand that, that should be more enough. But yeah, Rashekar Reddy can see Azure now. Now you can see, yeah? Okay, okay. Fine, man. No problem. We'll go, we are going to, yeah, in a smoother manner. But whatever today session, no, if you are able to understand me, that should be fine. But really the look and feel, I did not do anything. In Azure Data Factory, I did not create even a linked service also. Just I shown you where we can create. That's it. So here, if you go to this manage window, in the manage window, we have linked service, we have the integration service. If you go to the linked service, you can create a new for the source one and even for target. And data sets we can create in the pipeline. In data sets we can create in the pipeline. If you create a pipeline, sorry, in the ADF, in the other window, data flows, we can, data sets, we can create a new data set here. Okay. So this is all like just example to make you how Azure Data Factory works. Maybe it is in a theoretical session you might feel, okay, let it be, no problem. But I'm showing you the tool, ADF resource, where we can do this all, right? So this is a pipeline flow. We can design a pipeline flow here. Means you can set up, maybe it is a, if you take the copy data activity, you can do source, you can select sync, and source and sync means what? Source means OLTP, sync means OLAP for now, but it can be a staging, it can be a ODS, it can be anything again, right? So using this copy data activity, what I can do, I can work on files, not on data. I can move the files directly. If file is moving means data automatically will move, right? If data file is moving means within that file, whatever you have, that data will be moved to the target. If I'm moving a table means what? Columns, rows, two-dimensional way. In a database it stores. That will move from one page to another page. So like that we can maintain, right? So I hope I made comfort. I want to make comfort with Azure Data Factory, whether just on the view, on the logical view, you have to understand how Azure Data Factory works with our example. So if you have any problem in understanding my example from travel of Hyderabad to Bangalore and how the car starts and what bus required, tickets required, and this all, if you are able to relate, no, definitely you will get good understanding on Azure Data Factory. So what you need to do from tomorrow, you'll come to know from Monday. If you know this today's class, if you are make it an importance, definitely from Monday you'll come to know what you have to work on, how we are going to work on. If anyone is new to this ETL industry or like BA industry, if you are new and now by this class, you have to get what is BA industry, what is ETL in that, and within the ETL, how we are going to work with Azure Data Factory. That is what my main intention to talk about these 3 sessions. If that is done, definitely we are worthwhile for these 3 sessions. Yeah. So with example, the flow of data ADF also should be very clear. That's where we have to link up only the thing. So what all the terminology we have seen? We have seen linked service, we have seen data set, we have seen pipeline, and pipeline required to Azure data, integration runtimes. There are 3 different runtimes. Why should we have and should go for which one? Those all things will come internally going further. So now maybe we are moving the passengers, right? So or else the whole bus or whole car. So that is activity, using activity we can do. For example, there are 10 different cars, and within the 10 different cars there are 4 to 5 people, 6 to 7 people, and 2 to 3 people. Like that, the set of car will be taken into one container, and that container alone will go. That is what kind of flow means activities those are. But individually making a travel of individually, like a single car goes, no, that is data flow, means you are flowing the data. So making a move of a car or a bus with a number of people in a container is nothing but your activities. But by bus single alone, only one bus is taking 100 people. These 100 people are different religion, different caste, different dressing sense, different people. All these people we are making at one place, and we are making flow in a single bus. That is called data flow. So using data flows, you can maintain, you can do data transformations. If I go to the data flows, for example, if you go to the data flow, you can work on the records, on the data we are going to work using all these transformations. So my main motto is to complete, first of all, the data flows. There are 20 to 25. Later on, we'll come into the activities. First of all, I should understand the passenger's mindset so that I can move in a container, or I can go with single bus. I'll come to decision. If my all passengers are convenient to go along with a container, so that I'll be okay with them to go with a container. If some people are not available, I have no passenger in a bus. That bus should go in a container to move from Hyderabad to Bangalore, not required. So that day I don't have any travel. Container is stopping. Actually, my bus is stopping. I am not having any flow. Means that day we are not getting charges. We are not getting any charges from the client, from the Azure Microsoft. So we have to make the client get benefited in the maintenance cost wise and all. And we have to get all the things proper way again. So these all are backend tools. Okay, we don't know, client doesn't know what is Azure Data Factory, don't know about what is data flow. The transformations. Nothing he don't know. What is the source? He know what is target. Means we have to follow the business standard terminologies again. Like don't say records, don't say rows. Definitely we have to say transactions, business transactions. Okay, the terminology, the mindset has to change. You are not working for your subject marks, course marks. You are working for client. Client is paying you. If you are really valid resource to client, he'll pay you a lot. he can encourage you by paying. Okay, but in the schooling they'll encourage to give some more marks. So schooling is done, we are not studying for the purpose of marks, we are studying for the purpose of earning. So here earning is no limit, there only 100 means only 100, how much well you do, you'll get 900 only, not more than that, right? You cannot get. But here you can earn based on your experience, but not on your experience, your technical stuff, what you have, you can demand. Not it easy way, but still you can get it as your expectation in a high way, in good high way. That's your technical interest, and you have to prove your technical stuff, right? So make sure to convey your mindsets, not your learning, your working, and you are going to help the client to run his business. So on business perspective, which kind of business works, how you have to come to know to tomorrow to talk in the interviews as well. So that business, how you are helping, you have to know. How you're not helping, like how you are servicing, how you are giving your service, you have to know. These all things we have to know, so that once if you are starting from today of your mindset to do in that way, definitely at the end of the sessions you'll have a good mindset to, and you'll be very good, perfect, ready to work for a client, right? So just make of just keep thinking of in that way. And I have started really from my side. I have a lot of issue today in the timing sense, maybe more than, I mean, like last 2 days, it took more time, but okay. From Monday, I'll try to start on the time, like 8 to 8:05 between, and we'll make some longer session. Today, I'll stop here. I want to stop here. And really, if you people have questions, if I take that now, might have not sufficient time. So I request you to make a note. Definitely in the Monday session, I'll try to start by 8, and or 5 minutes before I'll try to sit on, so that if you people can join, no, we will have the questions for the first 5 minutes.